All right, hello and welcome to Why Accept Membership in Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. My name is Heather Yush and I serve as the Director of Membership Services. I want to say thank you and welcome. We really are excited to share some content with you about Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and why you should become a member today. And I want to go ahead and turn it over to a couple of my panelists for a brief introduction. First of all, my colleague from headquarters, which is located in Jackson, Mississippi. This is Dr. Ariel Charbonnet. Ariel?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really exciting to see all of the hellos come in right now. So I'm really happy to be here. I am the Manager of Member Support and Outreach at Phi Theta Kappa. And I am happy to answer any questions and provide my contact information at the end of the webinar.
Thank you so much, Ariel, and she is going to monitor our chat box closely. And since you all have found that, before we go on with our introductions, whenever you have a question related to Phi Theta Kappa membership, please use the Q&A box to ask your question, because we don't want it to get lost in the mix with all of these hellos. We want to make sure your really good questions are reserved for that Q&A box. So go ahead and fire away if you already have a question, and we'll go ahead with the rest of our introductions. The next person I'd like to introduce to you is actually a student member and an officer, and this is Donnie Mollison. Donnie?
Yes, good evening. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for attending tonight's webinar. My name is Donnie Mollison, and I am the student advisor for our chapter and the Rocky Mountain Cascade Regional Vice President.
Thank you so much, Donnie, for being here. He has a wealth of experience to share with you this evening, which is precisely why I asked him to join our webinar tonight. And now we also have someone else from the Rocky Mountain Cascade region who is another student member, and I believe now at the four-year college level, and this is Jantine Bunce. Jantine?
Hello, everyone. I'm here from Roseburg, Oregon at Umpqua Community College. I am also attending Eastern Oregon University, and I'm super excited to answer any questions you have tonight.
Thank you so much, Jantine, and I know Jantine and Donnie are good friends and good members of the Rocky Mountain Cascade region, so we're thrilled to have them and their experience and their wealth of knowledge as student members. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the presentation here. I do want to make very clear that this presentation is for you, and that is the sole reason that we are here. And I want to encourage you to ask questions, which I already see lighting up in the chat box and the Q&A box. So we are going to go ahead and jump right into the first slide, and we'll handle these questions as we go. Ariel's going to go ahead and type some answers to a few of these questions, and then if she wants to interject and read a few of them out loud as well, in case they might apply to the entire audience. So again, welcome and congratulations on the invitation that you have received, and we are really here to tell you about all the membership benefits and why you should join. First, I want to start with our mission, which you see in front of you if you're watching from a computer or some sort of device with a screen. But just in case you're calling in, which we do have a few of you that have called in via phone, our mission at Phi Theta Kappa is truly to recognize your academic achievements. And it doesn't just stop with recognition. The mission statement goes on, and that's because we have programs and different types of resources that we're going to discuss today to really provide opportunities for you to grow as scholars and leaders. And I see a question over here about some differences between some organizations and Phi Theta Kappa. I am not extremely familiar with the specific organization that's mentioned here. Sigma Alpha Phi, I think, is what was being typed. But I do want to say that Phi Theta Kappa's mission has remained the same since we were founded in 1918, and that is to serve and support the students that are pursuing an education at an institution that offers associate degrees. So you don't have to necessarily finish or complete an associate degree or certificate program, but because you're on a campus that does offer those opportunities for students, that is why you are receiving an invitation to join Phi Theta Kappa. You might have heard of Phi Beta Kappa, which is a four-year college honor society, and it's quite different from us. Again, we serve and support the mission of the two-year colleges, or those colleges that offer associate degree programs. I'm going to go ahead and ask either Donnie or Jantine if they wouldn't mind sharing, why did you choose to accept membership in Phi Theta Kappa, and what does the mission statement mean to you? Why did that resonate and cause you to decide to join Phi Theta Kappa?
Well, I joined Phi Theta Kappa because I realized when I came to the community college at Temecula Community College that they had a Phi Theta Kappa chapter, and I had a faculty advisor for a honor society that I was in California that told me if I ever went to a school that had a Phi Theta Kappa chapter, that he strongly recommended that I get involved. And he said that I would really enjoy myself. And boy, he was really right. To me, Phi Theta Kappa is an opportunity for students to go beyond just their academic studies in the classroom and learn more about skills that will be very handy when they go out in the workforce and will help translate over if they're transferring to four-year institution. So to me, that's what membership, what the mission of Phi Theta Kappa is.
Thank you, Donnie, and I am so glad that you had some good positive peer pressure, right? There's always two kinds, and it sounds like Donnie had some pretty positive peer pressure. Always a good thing, and we hope that once you all that are attending tonight become members, we want you to become ambassadors and recruiters, in a sense, for Phi Theta Kappa as well, so that you can pass it on and change lives of others around you. How about yourself, Jantine? I'm curious, did you have to receive several invitations before you joined Phi Theta Kappa, and what eventually caused you to join?
Well, I was a high school dropout student, pregnant at 17, and when I, several years later, finally started to get my life together in a proper, positive manner, I started to attend Umpqua Community College, and 2 terms in, I lost my grandfather, and he was one of my biggest supports in life, and it was very devastating. And I asked, universe, what is the sign? What do I stay at college, or do I move back home and take care of family? And I came home from the funeral and had an invitation in my mailbox, and was like, okay, that's my sign. I continue on, and here I am 3.5 years later, going for my bachelor's degree with an amazing college campus.
Thank you so much, Jantine, and I really appreciate your personal perspective that you're willing to share with us, because it is important for members, prospective members out there, to see that they're not much different from either of you, Donnie and Jantine. So that's really tremendous. I truly appreciate that. And I do see some great questions coming in, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to the next slide because I believe it answers about 5 or 6 of them. All right, go right on ahead here. Okay, this was the slide I was looking for, because several of you have asked about eligibility for Phi Theta Kappa, and you're asking, what happens if my GPA drops, or am I going to have to pay a fee again and again and again? And so those are the questions that I'm answering. There's a one-time lifetime membership fee associated with joining Phi Theta Kappa. So you will not be charged every 6 months or every month or every semester. It's a one-time lifetime membership fee. The reason that we collect that fee is actually to provide membership benefits back to you. Also, I wanted to address the fact that the maintenance GPA is different from the eligibility GPA. So when you get your invitation to join, it's because you have a certain high achieving GPA, such as a 3.5. Most chapters require you to keep at least a 3.0. Sometimes it's a 3.25, sometimes a 3.3. It's always a little different. We're not trying to confuse you. It's simply because every college that has a chapter runs things a little differently, and we keep up with that through their bylaws. So that's why it says on the screen the little asterisk or star that says 3.5, and that's determined by your chapter. They're not going to change that. It's always in the bylaws for the chapter. They would literally have to change the bylaws to change the GPA. But that should give you a little peace of mind that you won't have to keep a 3.5 the entire way through your college career. Once you go on to the 4-year college, you're an alum of Phi Theta Kappa, and even if you go to your 4-year college and drop below a 3.0, you're not going to lose your membership. We're not going to come find you and take your Phi Theta Kappa membership, because again, we're here to really get you off to a good start and serve and support you in those first 2 years. And associate degree programs, I saw some questions in there about, you know, who is this for? It's for every major. It's for career tech students. It's for associate degree students. It's for those who are collecting credits and then going to transfer. It's for folks like Jantine who are in 2 schools at once, right? She's at Umpqua Community College as well as Eastern Oregon University. So it's for students of every type of population, online, non-traditional, dual enrollment. We even have high school students who get accepted, invited and accept membership in Phi Theta Kappa. So that's a little bit about who we are, who we're serving. I hope that answered about 25 questions in this Q&A box. But we're going to go ahead and continue on our way. Ariel, do you have some questions that relate to this topic that you have spied out of the corner of your eye?
About eligibility, we do have a good bit of questions, more so about if they're about to transfer to a 4-year school, how can membership in Phi Theta Kappa help them? We may address that a little bit later on the scholarship slide, so I think we're all good right now.
Wonderful. And I did see a question about, is this webinar an invitation? This webinar is an informational webinar. If you received this email from an advisor, it's likely because you're on their eligibility list, but there's a number of ways that you could have heard about this webinar. So I don't want to make any dangerous assumptions that every single person listening has met the criteria for their particular chapter. But my best piece of advice, and Ariel can put this in the chat box for us hopefully, is to use the link ptk.org/advisor search. All you have to do is email the advisor at your college, and they are a staff or faculty member that are literally based on your campus. And that person will gladly respond to your email and let you know how close you are to being eligible or when you might expect to receive your invitation, because it's really up to the school and how fast that they get their invitations out, or how fast your advisor contacts headquarters to get us to help them with their invitations. So it's totally up to your institution in terms of that timeline. I don't know if you have any other advice, Donnie or Jantine, about some of the other things that I'm seeing in the chat box, which are, what are the benefits of membership if somebody's about ready to transfer? Do you think that they should still accept membership in Phi Theta Kappa, and if so, why?
What I like to tell members is that one of your best, and if you're getting ready to transfer to another college, a 4-year institution, that is it's always a great idea to get your membership, even though you're in your last year of eligibility, because there's benefits that are going to last you a lifetime, and are going to help you, that will carry forward with you as you go on into your 4-year institution. And the 2 that I particularly like to mention is the stamp on your that you receive on your diploma when you graduate. And also, I'm not sure if all schools do this, but I know at our campus, whenever you order a transcript, I think this may be universal for Phi Theta Kappa, but when you order a transcript, it also has printed on there that you're a Phi Theta Kappa member. And so even if you're in your last year of eligibility, there's still a lot of benefits that will carry over with you.
Thank you so much, Donnie. And that's true, that on your resume or on your transcript, you can forever put that you're a member of Phi Theta Kappa. And you would be surprised what types of conversations and doors that might open for you. Jantine, do you want to talk a little bit about maybe some of these common reasons for why you hear people don't want to accept membership? Are they confused about Phi Theta Kappa? Do they think we're a fraternity or a sorority? What do you think it is, and how can we overcome that as a society? I would love to hear your perspective.
I've heard a lot of students thinking that it's a scam, which is a valid worry and concern. There are a lot of scams out there. Always check with your campus advisor, student life coordinator, If you have any questions, contact Phi Theta Kappa themselves. They're amazing at responding to concerns. And I can't say enough good things about Phi Theta Kappa as a whole.
Thank you so much, Jantine. And I totally get it too. You have to be careful consumers. Anytime someone's inviting you to do something, even though it's for a legitimate cause in this case, I understand totally that when you're asked to pay for something, you know, you're honor students, you're always going to be skeptical. You're going to always ask why and where is the money going. So the return on investment is really you. We are a nonprofit organization. And so that means that the money that we're collecting is basically coming back to you in some way, shape, or form in a membership benefit. We have heard so many students say, I'm about to transfer, or I've never heard of this, I can't afford it. We try to make sure that, you know, barriers to access like affordability are not there in terms of that really being a barrier. So if you have concerns, if you're thinking about joining, maybe you've thrown the invitation away once or twice because you just didn't have the money in your pocket, we do not want that to stop you. And in fact, I'm going to sound like a broken record today, but if you use that advisor search link that I'm actively typing back to people as the answer to their questions, the advisor on your local campus can do some pretty amazing things. There are foundations at most all of your schools, and a lot of those foundations are looking for ways to invest in students in the same way that we are at Phi Theta Kappa. So I have talked pretty much every day this week to different foundations on different campuses, and the reason that they want to invest is because they want the students to persist and engage and graduate and transfer. So there may be a membership fee waiver available at your local school. And if not, we have resources at headquarters that we deploy at certain times of the year as well. And you might be eligible to be nominated for a fee waiver. So if you are someone that can't accept membership otherwise without some sort of support, please speak up and don't let that stop you. Your local chapter advisor will care and will be able to direct you in the way of resources. I think we've dispelled quite a few of those myths, so I think we'll go ahead and talk about society structure. Donnie, I know that you have a medal around your neck, which means that you are a regional officer. So I'm going to put myself on mute and take a peek over at the chat box. And I hope that you will tell everyone about why they should run for an officer position and, you know, how do you get to the top? How do you get to be in one of these student leadership positions?
The way that you get started is by just taking on some responsibility. You might be a little bit reluctant because you figure, well, I've got too much schoolwork, I don't have time for anything else. But the way that I got started was I basically came to our first meeting and found out that they were having officer elections the next meeting, and I asked a little bit more about it. And having had some leadership experience before, I thought that would be a great way to get involved, and it kind of mushroomed from there. And the next year I ran for and was elected the regional vice president, and it was all because I basically had taken that first step and kind of got involved at the chapter level, and then just kind of worked my way up. And I'm hoping to work my way up a little higher. And I think it's a great opportunity to get involved and not be too afraid about having too much work to do, because a lot of chapters will structure the amount of work that you have to do around the amount of time that you have available.
Thank you so much, Donnie, and I agree. Go for it. If you can make time, even if it's a little bit of time, just bite off a small piece and see where that gets you, because we really encourage our members to take advantage at all levels. You know, if you're worried about the investment and is this worth it, I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it at just the local level. It depends on what campus you're attending and how busy you are. But if you just branch out and try some of the regional events, like our regional conferences or regional officer training, or even try some of our international level events like Honors Institute or our annual convention we call PTK Catalyst. If you're doing all of those things, you're traveling, you're expanding your worldview, meeting people from all over the country that are just like you in terms of their academic achievement and their dedication to their studies, So I really think if you want to get the most out of it and make it worth it, quote unquote, then you should really maximize your membership at all 3 levels. And Jantine, I know that you've gone to some of our events, PTK Catalyst, which is our annual convention. You've got regional conventions or conferences. Do you want to speak a little bit about what happened once you started kind of setting foot off the Umpqua Community College campus as just part of your local chapter?
My first conference, I went with my advisor and a few fellow students, and it is literally what has changed my career and life pathway. My goal was to get my associate's degree, get a job, and, mellow out my life. And instead, now I am going for my bachelor's degree and going for that bigger job. And things are still chaotic as a student and a mom and a student leader. But you find ways to make it work. And those regional conferences, they're just amazing to see the passion from the officers, the regional officers, the advisors, the fellow chapters, all the fellowship it's just heartwarming to, grow as an individual and to meet other individuals that are wanting and willing to grow as all the pillars of Phi Theta Kappa have.
Thank you, Jantine. We happened to talk about some employment opportunities earlier this week over Facebook. So I wish her the best in her search, and she's going to land the perfect job. I just know it, and be in higher education for years to come. So I just want to let you all know we are real people. I've actually met Jantine, and I've met Donnie in person, and Ariel's met Donnie in person as well. So even though we're way down here in the South and they're all the way out on the West Coast, we get together and cross paths in some of these events, and even on Facebook, like I was just explaining. We are real Facebook friends and also real life friends too. I just wanted to point that out, that we're not paid actors or anything of that nature. We're really part of the society, and we're very happy to network and share our stories. Also, we had some great questions come in I want to clear up because I've seen several of them. Instead of typing back to all of you, I think I'll just say it out loud. If you receive an invitation, there's no extra layer of scrutiny that you have to go through to become a member. Once you hit accept membership, and at the end of our presentation, we've got the URL, which is ptk.org/join or ptk.org/accept membership. Accept membership. You can put that in the chat box, Ariel, now that I'm talking out loud. I can't remember, but I know if you go to ptk.org/join, you will be able to click on the link, and it will ask you to put in your unique passcode, and then you'll be able to accept membership. So all you have to do is get an invitation, you get a passcode, you enter it in, pay for your membership. It's a checkout process, kind of like buying an item in an online store. I'm sure everybody's purchased something online. So our membership is set up just because we want to make sure if you join at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. or 2 in the morning, whatever time you want to join, we don't want you to have to go find a local chapter advisor to do that. So accepting membership online is the most popular and the easiest way to join. But yeah, there's nothing else. Once you accept membership, that was your decision. You took the leap of faith, and we're not going to have any additional selection process or interviews or anything of that nature. Great question. That's one I've never even thought of. So I appreciate that question very, very much. Ariel, do you want to correct me in terms of the link that I just said? It is ptk.org/join. And can you tell me what the other link is, please?
Yes, I just put in the chat box the link to the join page, and I'm just verifying it now because, yes. So if you go to www.ptk.org/join, it'll bring you to a home page, and you'll see an orange button that says join, and you'll be able to scroll down and click join PTK, and that's where you'll enter your passcode. So ptk.org/join. There was another question about where do you get your passcode. So again, if you go to your local chapter advisor using that URL that I put in the chat box, then your local chapter advisor will be able to give you a passcode. It should be in the invitation that you receive.
Thank you so very much for straightening that out. I'm going to make sure I'm giving out the right URLs. I I have them saved, like we all do on our browsers. So I hadn't thought about that one recently. So we've got a lot of questions coming in. I'm going to keep going because I'm really hoping we're going to address some of these questions. There's no way that y'all could have written questions that are not involved in our presentation. I just don't think it's possible. So we're going to keep going and see where we can get from here. Involvement in terms of what is your membership for? What are you going to be able to access now that you're a member, or that when you're becoming a member of Phi Theta Kappa? I'm sure Jantine and Donnie have done most of these and probably are at the point where they're organizing some of these events themselves. So I'm just going to put myself on mute and go over to the chat box and try to address some more questions. Would you all please just maybe bring to life some of these events or opportunities and talk about what is the value in doing these things, and what are the can't miss opportunities once you become a member?
Well, here in my chapter, I've been honored with organizing our induction ceremony for the last three. We have one in the spring and one in the fall, and I've actually coordinated all three of our last induction ceremonies. And the value of participating in your induction ceremony is that's an opportunity where you formally get recognized as a member of Phi Theta Kappa, and it's an opportunity for you to share your academic achievements with your family and friends. And it's really a great fellowship opportunity to get to know some other Phi Theta Kappa members. And it's just a very nice, personal kind of event that really will stick in your mind and last for a lifetime. It's something that you'll remember, and you'll remember a lot of the people that you were inducted with. So I think it's a lot of students, or some students will pass on being involved in the induction ceremony, and I would like to highly encourage students to, or members to go to their induction ceremonies, because it is really special and it is something that you'll remember for a long time.
Thank you, Donnie. And Jantine, do you want to talk a little bit about either induction or something else in terms of a can't miss type of opportunity in Phi Theta Kappa?
Like Donnie, I've put on my share of induction ceremonies, chapter meetings, workshops, but I'd like to focus on the fellowship and service events. Those are really important to me because getting out there and finding out what your campus needs, what your community needs, what your local areas needs, what your classmates needs are, and trying to find a way to collaborate with other organizations, other individuals to fulfill those needs. It's a whole different experience, coordinating gardens, events, fundraisers. It's a great work experience, it's life experience, and it's building friendships, and gives you great fun things to look forward to.
Thank you, Jantine. I know that Jantine has also written some induction speeches, right? I was helping her out via email to make sure she got all of the moving parts pinned down so she could give an effective, inspirational induction speech. So our members get called upon to do everything in their colleges because they really are the blue chip students, you know, those really top-notch types of recruits that everybody wants on their four-year college campus. And I've heard them called the movers and shakers and the scholars and leaders on their campuses. And that's really who we are. So of course we carry a larger burden than most students just because we have a lot of versatile skills and talents among our membership. So we do all kinds of things that, you know, fellowship, service. We do have 4 hallmarks, which I haven't mentioned yet. I can't believe I haven't mentioned those yet. But we do have 4 hallmarks, which are really the ideals It's our values, it's what we stand for, and all of our programs and activities relate in some way, shape, or form to these 4 hallmarks. They are scholarship, leadership, fellowship, and service. So you will not find anything in Phi Theta Kappa that has nothing to do with those 4 things, or at least one of those 4 things. And that's really important to us to make sure we can fulfill our mission of helping you grow as scholars and leaders. I want to point out with competitive edge and college fish, I know I have a lot of questions in here I've been answering about what is this going to do for me once I graduate, once I transfer, once I move on to a 4-year college or go out into the workforce. These are the types of programs we offer. Competitive edge is one of them. And this is completely self-paced. I know I saw an online student asking me what would I be able to do as a member if I can't go to campus. And we have a lot of commuter students even that you just go to class and then you go home, right? So we have programs like Competitive Edge you can do on your own time in the comfort of your own home on the weekends, whenever you have time, and you can go as fast or slow as you want. So this is a self-paced professional development program. You're going to learn soft skills, which are things like we're doing right now, communication, reading a crowd, giving a presentation, a lot of those things that are going to help you land your next job, not to feel panicked in an interview setting, and just make the right choices, professionally in terms of how to get ahead. So Competitive Edge is really a valuable resource, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I saw Donnie wearing that pin. Do you have the Competitive Edge pin on, Donnie? Had to unmute you. There you go.
Yeah, yes, I do have my 5-star Competitive Edge pin that I actually completed last summer. I actually did the program over my summer break. And when we were talking earlier about some of the benefits of Phi Theta Kappa and what you'll take away when you move on to your either for your institution or to an employer, there's a lot of things that 5-star Competitive Edge offers to you that will become very useful and of value to an employer or at the for your institution that you're attending.
Very good. Thank you so much. And Jantine, have you happened to gone in College Fish at all? I'm not sure if you know much about collegefish.org.
I have used it to pull up university scores to see what surrounding universities would pan out better for me and compare costs. I haven't gone too in-depth into College Fish, but I know it's a good tool to compare and see side by side what further colleges could help.
Exactly right, and I'm glad you used it even for your own purposes of comparing some schools and their data, because we created this College Fish. It has its own little brand and its own logo and everything, but it's powered by Phi Theta Kappa. So it's an online tool that we've created, kind of like Competitive Edge is an online tool that you can use on your own time. College Fish is similar. It's something you can do at home to really enhance your college experience. And this is specifically to help you find scholarships and also to find a transfer institution. So you can do kind of 2 different searches. And the nice thing is it's kind of like Match.com. In the beginning, you build a profile. Of course, you're not looking for someone to date. You're looking for a school to be matched up to or a scholarship to be matched up to. And then you can sort and organize your list and really keep track of things. It's a lot easier than just trying to Google it or use the internet to find things. It's much more organized, and it's really built with you in mind as a Phi Theta Kappa member. I'd really encourage you to use that because 4-year colleges are investing in College Fish, and so they want to search and determine where to go do their school visits and where to recruit students. That's how they're finding the top Phi Theta Kappa members and the top transfer students, by using this resource called collegefish.org. It's completely free to you as a student, so you're just basically missing out on a free tool. Once you accept membership, we want you to definitely get in College Fish and promote yourself, build a profile and start developing that skill of really confidently putting yourself out there so that colleges can get a hold of you and help you make an informed decision. I see some great questions coming in, and I want to address a couple of them. Someone talked about missing that GPA requirement conversation we were having. And I do want to back up because it's very important, and I don't want anyone in here to think I shouldn't join because my GPA may drop. We understand that you are in your first year of college and your GPA is going to be a certain number, whatever that is. Then your next year of college, your courses are getting more difficult. We realize that. You're not in 100 level classes or 1,000 level, you're in 200 or 2,000 level. So we know it's getting harder, it's more challenging your second year. Because of that, your GPA may start to drop a little bit because we also have a maintenance GPA for that very reason. So your eligibility GPA, what your chapter requires to get in, is usually higher, like a 3.5. And then your maintenance GPA is usually a little lower, like 3.25 or 3.0. So we've kind of already figured that out and accounted for it. We know the patterns of our students. We know that once you join Phi Theta Kappa, the trajectory for success is only going to take you upward. So we really don't have any concern about students dropping way below the 3.0 mark. And even if you drop below, you still have a semester to make it up and bounce back before anything would happen. But by then, most people have graduated or transferred because you are in your 2-year education for a relatively short time. So I hope that will help anyone that is feeling a little nervous about that, because I know you are making an investment, but we also just want to make sure we're holding our members to that high standard of achievement that you were able to achieve so quickly in your career as a student. Okay, let's keep going. I know we have a lot of questions. Veterans, yes, there are benefits for veterans. Actually, you get a special military honor cord that's red, white, and blue. So you also get that with your certificate, which someone else asked about, do we get a membership certificate? Yes, you just accept membership. We send it to you using the mailing address that you've provided. So no extra or special steps that you have to do to get your membership certificate. Okay, let's talk about additional benefits, scholarships. I've seen scholarships come up a time or two in the Q&A box. And we have probably 10 different questions asking what type of scholarship can I get and if it's for a certain major. Our scholarships are literally for everyone. So we don't focus on one major, although we do have some scholarships that are more suitable for a business major, possibly. We also have some that are more suitable for a nursing student. In fact, we have a partnership with Hearst Review, which is the maker of the NCLEX, which most of you in the nursing world know is that exam that's waiting for you in your nursing program. So we actually have partnerships, very strategic partnerships, to make sure that you're getting test resources and free testing materials so that you can pass that test the first time around. We also have very specialized scholarships for people who have suffered from natural disasters. We have others that are for students who are pursuing master's degree programs, and yet others for people who are in public safety types of career fields. So there's a very specific donor that's providing a scholarship for students in those majors. So I'm just giving you a few examples off the top of my head, but we have literally over $90 million in scholarships when you take all of our partnerships, all of our four-year colleges, and all of the money that they're putting aside for our members, and all of Phi Theta Kappa's own money. We're offering over $500,000 right now this fall for scholarships. So if you want to check that out, you just go to ptk.org/scholarships with an S on the end, and you will see we have over $500,000 in scholarships waiting for you, and that application closes on December 1st. We do have a few of those scholarships that are open right now that end sooner, and I'm smiling because I'm thinking of the Geico Meme Scholarship. There's actually a Meme for Money scholarship open, I believe, through the beginning of October. Not much longer, I know that for a fact. It's open for a shorter time than most of our others, but you can literally win a scholarship just for writing a funny caption on a meme. So that sounds silly, but it's really a creativity scholarship, and we have great partners and sponsors that want to make sure they're investing in students, just like Phi Theta Kappa believes in investing in students. Okay, I'm going to make sure that you get to hear from Jantine and Donnie because they're way more interesting than me. They're actual Phi Theta Kappa members. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you see on the screen here, and just what do you want to tell the prospective members about these other benefits of membership? I'm not sure if you've been contacted by four-year colleges or had any scholarship experience, but I'm just going to mute myself and let you all talk about these types of other benefits of membership now.
I personally haven't had a lot of experience with applying for scholarships, but I can tell you about the regional and international events. This last spring, I was able to attend the PTK Catalyst and the Honors Institute. And one of my favorite phrases is amazing, and I use that when I want to talk about something that's really special or interesting, you know, way above interesting. And I'll tell you, attending the PTK Catalyst and the Honors Institute was an amazing opportunity. At Catalyst, you're there with about 4,000 other Phi Theta Kappa members, and it's a great opportunity to meet members throughout the country and to get a sense for what other chapters are like. And Honors Institute is a little more limited to around 500 members, and that's a really nice, intimate opportunity to learn more about Phi Theta Kappa and the Honors in Action project. And if you have an opportunity to go to either of these events, I highly encourage you to go, because it's another type of experience that you won't forget.
Thanks, Donnie. I think I enjoy the international and regional events just as much as the students, so I can attest to his excitement and passion. It really is contagious. And Jantine, do you want to talk a little bit about some of these benefits as well? I know that you're at a four-year college. I'm not sure if they're giving you any additional scholarship money because of your membership, but anything you want to add?
Last year I had received the All Oregon Academic Team acknowledgement and scholarship, and that was an amazing experience. I've never felt so proud to be acknowledged in a moment. It was just a great experience. I mean, who doesn't just love free money to start with? So fill out those scholarships. Can't stress it enough. College isn't free. College isn't cheap. Life still is happening. And if you can get any free assistance, free money to get through it, you know, it's worth an essay or two. I can't say anything about the Phi Theta Kappa letter of recommendation at this point, but I can say that, like Heather had touched on earlier, it's a great opportunity to grow relationships with individuals that can support you through future endeavors, and great to be able to just reach out and say, hey, what's your thoughts on this? Or can you proofread this for me? Can you proofread an essay for the scholarship I'm applying for? You just never know further how that recommendation can go. Corporate partner special offers. I sound like a Geico commercial, but it really does save you money. I went from paying almost $200 a month on my car insurance. I became a member, and I thought I was being silly and played with the benefit Geico app, and sure enough, it went down to $57, under $100. I'm like, that pays for my membership right there. So definitely check out those offers. They've got gym memberships, like Heather was touching on the NSLEX, probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's a great opportunity, great options, even car rental discounts. Just check out that link for the special offers and discounts. And the regional events and international events, I also went to PTK Catalyst in Nashville, Tennessee. We actually got stuck there. Our planes got delayed. It was just such an experience, you know, being able to learn how to take a potential negative experience with the planes being canceled to we just made the best of it as a team and as a group. And, we had support from not only our campus, but from other regional officers who were also delayed, and other attendees who were in the same boat. And also the speakers. You can't get an experience like that. To hear the things that those speakers have to touch on is just incredible. Something that, you just can't get off of YouTube. You can't get watching TV. You got to go out there and experience it.
Thank you, Jantine. I think you know more about all the corporate discounts than I do. Those are certainly very important when you're a college student, and certainly money and finances are very important. So you're probably paying a little more attention than some of us here at headquarters, or even because we're not in that day-to-day college student experience anymore. And I know that one of our members a couple of webinars ago just said, in the amount of free food that you're going to get at your chapter meetings, it's going to pay for your membership. And I thought that was pretty clever way to look at it, is trying to secure some meals. You might be able to do that through your Phi Theta Kappa membership as well. We also have partnerships with companies that offer computers, like laptop computers. I know we had one of our past international officers that was just so thrilled about the computer discount that he received. So we're careful with our partnerships. We want to do things that are going to be relevant to you as college students, and that are legitimate discounts or corporate benefits, special offer type of opportunities for you. So I'm thrilled to hear that you're not only maximizing your travel at the regional international level, but also just being smart about really getting the most out of your membership all the way around. And we do offer letters of recommendation upon request, and we will have an enhanced version of the letter if you happen to complete 5-star competitive edge, that professional soft skills development program that I talked about earlier. And I did forget to give the link. Most all of our links for our programs are / whatever the name is. So instead of / join, it's ptk.org/competitive edge if you want to get to competitive edge. College Fish has its own platform and website, collegefish.org, because that was originally started through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation grant in partnership with Phi Theta Kappa years and years ago. So we do have a lot of different resources across our website. You can access all of them very easily at ptk.org. I'm still getting a lot of questions about cost, and I definitely understand. And let me just clear this up, that there is always a one-time lifetime membership fee to join, depending on where you're at in the country. We have chapters in all 50 states, as well as across 9 different nations. So for instance, if you're in Canada and you're joining that chapter, that's going to be a different price than the chapter in the Pacific Islands, in Guam, for example. Or we might have a chapter that's in Florida, and that's going to have a different price as well. So each one has a different cost, and that's because it's up to the institution that chartered the chapter to determine. Usually the administrator will determine what is the appropriate cost for the local fee, and that will vary chapter by chapter. So I'm not trying to be confusing and giving you all different amounts, but without knowing what college you go to, I really can't just give you a price. $85 is the average fee for a member, and I can tell you it will be no less than $65. So if you want to be safe and cast a broad net, I would say between $65 and $100. Typically that's what we see, just depending on what part of the country you live in. If you want to get a straight answer, the easiest way is just to give us a call or email us at headquarters, or contact your local chapter advisor, who will certainly know what the cost of membership is on your local campus. If you don't remember anything else and you're about to sign off, just remember this: help, HELP, at ptk.org. If you say help at ptk.org in your email and give us a question, we will certainly shoot an answer back to you during business hours. And you're welcome to call us as well. We're also getting a lot of questions about what's required of me. And I want to tell you, you should maximize your membership by going to everything that you possibly can, but that's probably not realistic. So at minimum, really nothing is required of you other than keeping your grades up, right? So there's a maintenance GPA, so you're supposed to keep your grades above the maintenance GPA to become to stay an active member of the society. So if you cannot attend every meeting, that's okay. I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity because you're looking at your calendar and you know you cannot go to a certain meeting. We definitely are here to recognize you for what you've already done. You have already deserved the invitation, so that this is why we've extended the invitation. We're not expecting you to go and do a bunch of other things or mandatory things, but we do expect you to be a good citizen, to be a good student. We know that our members tend to be some of the top students on their college campus. In fact, only about 10% of any given college will have, only about 10% of that college will be eligible for membership. So you're in a pretty elite class or an elite crowd already, and we just want to recognize you for being in that elite, in those elite ranks. But we do want to help develop you as scholars and leaders so that you can go on, go into your career, go to your four-year college, and really, you know, make something of your experience as a student. We're very proud of our alumni. They're all over the world, and they do some pretty amazing things that we always try to write about in our blog, which is ptk.org/blog. So if you're interested in reading a little bit more about some of the student stories that we capture, you would be able to do that in the blog. Ariel, do you have some frequently asked questions that you want to bring to our attention? Because I still see 60 questions in the Q&A box, and it is almost 5 minutes till the hour. So if you've got any thoughts about what we might be able to talk about that will blanket cover some of these questions.
Yes, we've gotten a few questions from students who want to know if, for instance, they attend a college, but that's 12 hours away, or they're transferring to a college that's far away. How can they be involved in Phi Theta Kappa? So maybe Jantine or Donnie, if you can talk about maybe the regional involvement that you all have, that might be helpful. I've also answered via text that, you know, your membership can transfer. Just because you transfer to a different college doesn't mean that your membership goes away. If there's a chapter at the college you're transferring to, the advisor at the receiving college would just need to request a transfer from headquarters. But there are lots of ways to get involved beyond just a local level. There's virtual opportunities and there are regional opportunities. So Donnie or Jantine, if you could speak to that, that would be great.
This question I'm a little confused on. I'm not sure. I know that there some chapters offer the opportunity to participate in meetings through online video conferencing or some other teleconferencing means. I would say that as already mentioned, that your membership will transfer from one college to another college if you happen to change schools. But I would talk to the school that you're going to and finding out what opportunities in those kind of areas are available.
Yeah, that can be a real challenge. Geography is, and we have students that may attend online at a different school, but they live in another city. There's all kinds of scenarios, and we've probably heard or seen most all of them. But if you feel like you've received an invitation and it's from someplace that is too far away or doesn't really represent the college that you're actually attending, or if you're enrolled in two colleges, for example, and you need to pick one, the best thing really is to talk to your chapter advisor. I would agree with Donnie. Just go ahead and contact the chapter advisor that you're able to get in touch with based on your invitation, and kind of explain your situation, your scenario. I guarantee your advisor has heard and seen it all as well before, especially if they're a veteran. But higher education is changing so quickly around us, and students are swirling. You know, they're literally picking up classes like Jantine at 2 different schools, which is amazing. But as far as an invitation, that can kind of pose a little bit of an issue in terms of making a choice, because we want you to belong to just one chapter of Phi Theta Kappa at a time. So great question and great concerns that y'all are having. Those are very insightful questions. I'm also seeing a lot about scholarships and how to apply for them, as well as this other organization, Sigma Alpha Phi, and I have literally no idea what it is, I'm so sorry. It may be associated with a particular major, is what I am thinking, that there are a lot of honor societies that are for students of a particular major. But just remember, at Phi Theta Kappa, we are considered the community college honor society, and we've been such for almost 100 years. We're about to have our centennial annual convention in 2018, since we were founded in 1918. So I do want to make sure that y'all know about this. It's the PTK Party of the Century is what we're calling it. And it will be a huge celebration, but most importantly, a celebration of you as students and scholars. And we do a lot of enrichment activities there with amazing guest speakers and people that have messages that are really life-changing and inspirational. So if you can make it to Kansas City, April 19th through the 21st, we would love to have you at our international convention. And I guarantee we'll go back home with the amount of enthusiasm that will just be contagious to everyone around you. And we've really had students that have transformed their whole school, not just their chapter, based on their experience at international convention. So I'm sorry, I can't really speak to too many other honor societies because I am just really interested in the one that I'm supporting and serving every day. So I guess I haven't opened my eyes to see what's around me too much. But a lot of people were asking, should I do 2 honor societies? Should I do 2 organizations? That's up to you. You know, if you receive multiple invitations, I would just do some very good research and look at their website, you know, consider how old the organization is, what is the mission, what is the eligibility, just to make sure that it's actually an elite honor society that you're joining. And, you know, you want your membership to mean something. You know, if you go somewhere else in the world and you're applying for a job, you know, you want this to actually mean something for people to know what it is. And I think Phi Theta Kappa has pretty good name recognition in terms of our worldwide network of over 3.25 million members. We're members for life, so we have a lot of members, over 3 million. The scholarships you apply for at ptk.org/scholarships, the ones open right now in the fall scholarship application, those are going to be geared towards students that have 36 or more credit hours, because they're going to transfer. You know, if you look at a calendar, the thought is that you may be transferring next year about this time, so fall 2018. So if you fall in that range of 36 or more credits, you really should join now while you have the opportunity, because it's before December 1st, and that scholarship application is open until December 1st. So I'm not saying you shouldn't join after December 1st, but I am saying that you'll have less scholarship opportunities in that fall scholarship application window, which is open now. If you are a young student, in terms of not your age, but your credit hours, if you have less than 36 credits, you're going to want to apply in the spring for those spring scholarships that are going to help you continue at your 2-year college. So we have scholarships for everyone, associate degree level, bachelor's, master's, and then we also have partnerships with schools all over the country. And if you want to see a map of those schools that are offering transfer scholarships for members, you can find that map at ptk.org/scholarships. It's a big Google map with all the pins, and you can zoom in on the pins and see which maybe the ones in your own state, for example, that offer transfer scholarships. But don't be shy. You got to tell those transfer recruiters, those admission counselors, hey, don't forget, I'm a Phi Theta Kappa member. What do you have for me? And ask that question, and you'll be amazed of the different levels of scholarships that you'll kind of unlock because you have that extra advantage. Anything else, Ariel, that you're seeing in the chat box? I hate to log off and have 50 questions left, but I think it's about to happen. So I just want to be respectful of everyone's time. You know, we've all got a million things to do, and we can certainly stay on for a few more minutes and try to address some of these additional questions. I'm going to move over to the chat box, though, as soon as Ariel tells us what she wants to talk about. And then I do want to encourage Donnie and Jantine, when you get a chance, to just give us your kind of final plug as I put up here the questions and accept membership slide with all of our contact information, because I do want to hear some kind of compelling parting words from you all about why these people should become members. So Ariel, anything for us while I move over to the chat?
I will say that we've gotten a few questions about whether this presentation will be available later. So I just want to make it known that if you go to ptk.org/webinars, you'll be able to see this recording in the next day or so. So it will be online and available for everyone to access. Also, we've gotten a few questions about specific major-related scholarships that we offer. You can go on the website, ptk.org/scholarships, and view the criteria for each scholarship just by looking at that webpage. So some scholarships are geared more toward leadership, some are geared more toward academic excellence. So if you're interested in them, I recommend you just go ahead and check out the criteria that's listed on the website. So there will be, scholarship opportunities available for all majors. And if you're interested in something in particular, we may have a scholarship for you, but the best resource is to go to our scholarships page or to contact us directly, and we can put you in touch with one of our really, really informed scholarships folks who know everything about all of our scholarships. So I just wanted to make that clear. Also, I put my email address in the chat box. You all can email me whenever you like, or help@ptk.org. And I'll be happy to answer any of the questions that I wasn't able to quickly type just now. But thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that we had so many participants. This was great.
We still have over 100 on here, so I'm going to be quiet again and let Donnie and Jantine kind of give you one last plea, one final thought to really think about before you make this informed decision.
Yes, for those of you that may still be concerned about that $90 in terms of your membership fee, just think of it, the way that I like to look at it is just think about what that $90 is going to mean when you go to transfer to another college. And as Heather said, when you mentioned the fact that you're a Phi Theta Kappa member and what do you got for me, just think of how that $90 is going to come back so many times. I know being involved with Phi Theta Kappa, that membership dues has I have easily paid for it easily by 20 or 30 times because I've been involved and taken advantage of the opportunities. And so beyond that, I would just like to say that Phi Theta Kappa is a wonderful institution, and it's an organization, and it's one that you're going to get a lot of value out of. And it's one of those things that you're going to get out as much as you put into it. And I have just thoroughly enjoyed the last year and a half that I've been involved with Phi Theta Kappa, and the many opportunities that I've had to travel and meet other students and be involved in activities and events that I would have never had or ever dreamed of being involved in. So I would just like to end with that plug for Phi Theta Kappa. And I enjoyed being a panelist, and I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Donnie. I really appreciate your final words. Those are very, very strong and very moving, because it is an investment that can change your life, and we don't want people to miss out. Once you're not at an institution that has a 2-year degree program anymore, you're not going to keep getting these invitations once you go on to a 4-year college. Unfortunately, you kind of miss your chance, because this is part of our mission, is to really serve and support the 2-year college students. So make the most of it and take that leap of faith. How about you, Jantine? Any parting words of these prospective members who are maybe one step away from accepting membership?
If you don't do it for the scholarships, you don't do it for the discounts, if you don't do it for your own self-gain and self-interest, which isn't a bad thing, do it to serve your community, do it to serve your campus. If you see things on your campus that you want to see changed, your Phi Theta Kappa chapter is a great opportunity to collaborate with instructors, with departments, to make the changes that you want to see happen. It's a great opportunity to just get the things done that you see that need to be done. So do it. Join. It's amazing. That's all.
That's great, Jantine. Thank you. And that's very compelling as well, and very selfless to say that you could serve your community through membership in Phi Theta Kappa, which it certainly is one of our 4 hallmarks and something that we highly value. And I also wanted to say, as far as the induction ceremony and making sure that you go to the induction ceremony, that's really a turning point for a lot of people. The first time that maybe someone has told them that they have done a good job or that they felt validated as a student. Because we know there are so many stories and life situations that happen along the way as you're pursuing your education. And some of the most inspirational people that I know in the world are Phi Theta Kappa members. And I truly, truly mean that. They are people that have rose above every circumstance that you could possibly imagine. And that's why we're very proud that we're a very diverse and inclusive organization, because your school that you attend, think about the types of students that you have and that you see every day. There's a very diverse student body on any 2-year college campus, and we're really proud to be able to support and represent all of those types of students. So just make the most of it. Bring your friends and family to your induction ceremony. When you have parents that have their children there, or their grandparents, and you have that support system that's always been helping you and kind of keeping you on your feet. And for other people around you, that's really, a time for them to feel validated as well, and to know that all their sacrifices that they make for you are paying off. So, just make your family proud, and make your friends and your community proud along the way, not only yourself, but, those around you. We have so many other great questions in here, and Ariel, I'm going to give you a chance to, that was my compelling farewell and why you should join, but I'm going to let Ariel say a few words, and I think we're going to have to go, but I'm going to get back in the chat box and answer a few more. And Donnie and Jantine, you're welcome to get in that Q&A box and answer by text if you want as well.
Parting words, I'll say this. I am the person who organizes the visits and trainings to headquarters, so I do want to make sure I give a plug for that, because if you were even interested in joining, some chapters have prospective members, and so chapters will bring groups to the Center for Excellence all the time. It's a great opportunity to bond with other members in your chapter, get to know the chapter a little bit more before you actually accept membership. Talk to your local chapter advisor about maybe going to headquarters one day, or even setting up something virtually. I'd be happy to set up something so you can learn more about Phi Theta Kappa and hear it from the staff members at Phi Theta Kappa. We love having you all visit. So please do. This is a wonderful organization, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on all of these wonderful benefits if you didn't accept membership. There were a couple of questions like, do I have to accept membership right now, tonight? No, you don't. Check with your local chapter advisor for the deadline to accept. Typically, it's the end of your current academic term, but your local chapter advisor will know the exact date that you have to accept membership by. But it is a great organization. Check us out on Facebook, check us out on Instagram and Twitter, so you can see lots of videos and photos about what we do. And you'll see exactly what it's like to be a Phi Theta Kappa member. Thank you all.
Thank you so very much. And if your question is lingering out there, I'm so sorry. We got it down to 38. It was a valiant effort. But we also have our email addresses on the screen in front of you. So before we shut down for the night, if your question was not answered for the 87 people that are still with us, please write down my email address and or Ariel's email address and our phone number. We will literally talk to you tomorrow during business hours, which are typically 8:30 to 5 Central Time, since we're in Jackson, Mississippi. Also, if you're ready to join, ptk.org/join. And you don't have to do it tonight, but we do want to make sure that you don't forget, and maybe do this while it's on the top of your mind and you have time to apply for these scholarships. So thank you so much for your time and attention. Congratulations. And we really look forward to officially welcoming you to our community of scholars in our Phi Theta Kappa family. Hope to see all of you soon in person. I'm sure that Donnie and Jantine and Ariel would feel the same. We would love to meet you. All right, have a great rest of your evening, and best of luck with the rest of your academic term. Thank you.